Hey, HannahMouse1 here. Welcome to day 8 of the 12 Days of Scratchmas challenge, where every day I show you how to make a super simple Christmas themed minigame in Scratch. For day 8 we're going to be making the game Reindeer Run, which is a Flappy Bird style game where you have to click the screen to help the reindeer navigate the sleigh around the clouds, and if you hit a cloud or go off the screen then you lose. Like every day, I'm assuming you've completed all the parts up through now, which I'll link down below if you haven't, so make sure you've done all of those, but other than that, let's jump right in. So under our game start script in our game sprite 1, the first thing we are going to do is set game state to 0, and we're also going to set variable 1 to 0. Then we're going to wait until, and we're going to add in another wait until block, so I have 2 wait until blocks. In the first one, we're going to drag in a not operator, and then a mouse down sensing block into both of the input spaces. So that way the game will start when the player clicks the mouse. So after this, we want to set game state to 1. Then we want a repeat until loop. And we can copy in the game is equal to none, thing that we used yesterday. Within this, we want to, again, wait until mouse down. Then we need an if function with if game state is equal to 1. And then we want to set variable 1 to 10. And then after that, we want to wait until not mouse down, so just after the if function. And basically what this does is the game starts, it waits until the player clicks, and then after that, every time the player clicks, the sleigh will bounce up. So the Y velocity of the sleigh is determined by variable 1. But now let's move on to the clone define script, shall we? Scroll down until you find that. So what we need for this is switch costume 2. We want to find sleigh 1. There we go. And then we want to set this type to sleigh. Then we need a go to block with the position being negative 126. Negative, and then that should be Y0. Then create clone of myself. Then we can duplicate these 4, and we're going to switch costume 2, label 1, set this type to spawner, and change the values in the go to block to be 0.75. And that's all we need for the clone define script. Now let's go to the when I start as a clone script. Right here, the section for game is equal to 8. And in this you want an if else function with the condition if this type is equal to spawner. And you want another if else function in that with the condition being if game state is equal to 0. And in this you want to show, else we want to hide. Then we want a wait until block. And we want it to be wait until, and then we need a division operator in that with it being set to 5 divided by, then we want an addition, score plus 1. Then after that we want to create clone of game sprite 2. So this will just basically be in charge of spawning all the clouds that will move across the screen that the reindeer has to avoid. But in the else function, we need an if function with the condition if not game state is equal to 0. Then we're going to drag in a set costume 2 block, and then we need a join operator, join sleigh. Then we want plus operator on the other side, plus 1, and then we're going to add in a mod operator. What mod means is when the left side is divided by the right side, what the remainder is. So if you were to divide, say, 4 by 3, it would be 1 remainder 1, so mod would be 1. And what we want for this is mod of round timer times 5. So times 5, timer, mod 4. This will just animate the reindeer, so it has 4 costumes that will just cycle through based on the timer. It saves having to program in the animation with a separate script. Then we will change variable 1 by -1. So this will just basically be what the gravity of the sleigh is. Then you want an if function, with it being if variable 1 is less than -10, then set variable 1 to -10. Just to stop it going really fast if you start moving from the very top of the screen. Then we want to change y after this by variable 1. Then we need an if function. If touching game sprite 2, set game state to 2. And then we need another if function, being if y position is less than -180, set game to none. And broadcast main menu. Oh, and I put this in the wrong place. This should actually be under here, sorry. Alright, so let's give this a quick test, shall we? So as you can see now, as I click, the reindeer sleigh moves up and down. But the only thing that we're missing are the clouds that need to move across the screen. So if we go to the Game Sprite 2 section, under this script in the game is equal to 8 section, we need to switch costume to cloud. Then we need a go to block, with it being set to go to x275. Then we need a pick random for the y, with it being pick random -130 to 130. So -130 to +130. Then we need a repeat until loop with an or operator is the condition, with it being set to x is less, so x position is less than -250, or touching game sprite 1, change x by -5. After this we need an if function with an and, so we can copy in the x position is less than -250, and we need an if game state is equal to 1 in the other side. Then we need to change score by 1. And then delete this clone at the end of all of this. So what this means is that the clouds will spawn in, move across the screen, and if they get all the way to the other end of the screen without touching the player, then you get a point. So let's give this a quick test to make sure everything is working. So you can see a cloud spawning in, goes to the edge of the screen, and you get a point. You get another cloud, another, and as you can see, as the score increases, the number of clouds you get also increases to make the game progressively harder. If you hit a cloud, then suddenly you can no longer click, and that ends the game. So shall we add in a few sound effects? Go to game sprite number 1. If we go up to the game start script, and in the if game is equal to 8 section, when we set variable 1 to 10, we're going to start sound, join, pop, pick random 1 to 3, which, as you remember, just varies the pop sound. We used it the other day as well. And then if you go down to the when I started a clone script, in the if touching game sprite 2 section, I'm going to add in an if condition to this. And then set it to be if game state is equal to 1. And then place sound incorrect. So that way it only triggers this sound if it's a fail one and not you happen to be colliding it once you're already falling off the screen. But that is all the sounds that we need, and with that we are done. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe if you did, it lets me know that this is something to see more of. Join the Discord link down below, and I'll see you tomorrow with part 9 of the 12 Days of Scratchmas challenge. Bye!